God. The devil will flee from you because he doesn't like God as company. The devil will not get to you unless you get too far away from God. The wolf never attacks a sheep as long as it is with the rest of the sheep and with the shepherd. And the closer the sheep is to the shepherd, the safer it is. Our problem is that we get too far from God. And that concludes that section. Now we're going to move on to the next section, which is section verses 9 and 10. Our problem is that we verse 9, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. James chapter 4 and verse 9. There are certain conditions which call for mourning and not for joy. Sin is never to be treated lightly. When I hear a Christian make light of sin, I have a sneaking notion that on the side, when nobody is looking, he is indulging in sin. You are not to treat sin lightly, my friend. You are to mourn over your sin. The problem today is that Christians are not mourning over their sin. We have uh, we have several outstanding evangelists and some great evangelistic meetings in our day, but why is it that there is no revival in the church? I think James is giving us something to think about in what he says here. I remember asking this same question of Dr. John Brown, who was one of the great evangelists of the day. As we sat on his front porch in uh, Siloam Springs, Arkansas, I asked him why. Even in that day, evangelism was not reviving the church as it had when he was active in the ministry. He told me about the meeting which he had held in my present hometown of Pasadena, California. Again, this is McGee and not me, where he had a tent set up on a big vacant lot at the corner of Washington and Holliston. He said this to me, Dr. McGee, I preached 6 weeks to the Christians before I ever attempted to give an altar call for the unsaved. The revival came to the churches. When I came as a pastor to the church in Pasadena, I could still see the effects of Dr. Brown's meetings in that church. Why? For the very simple reason that sin had been dealt with in the lives of believers. Too often we refuse to deal with it. We need to mourn over sin. Verse 10, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. James chapter 4 and verse 10. He shall lift you up. This is our problem today. We think we are smart. We think we are strong. We think we have ability. We think we are good. God says that there is no good within us. There is nothing in us that attracts him. That is in the way of goodness. It is just our great head need that draws him to us. If we are willing to humble ourselves and get down there, he can lift us up. He will lift us up. I observed a lifeguard once as he hit a drowning fellow with his fist and knocked him out. The lifeguard explained that the drowning man was struggling, that he could not help him until he gave up. I think sometimes God gives us the fist so that we just give up and let him take over. And that concludes that